Ever tried casting a magic spell using nothing but words? Sounds absurd, right? I thought so too until I found myself entangled in a web spun by my own vocabulary. Picture this: a young lad captivated by the allure of words, dissecting them like a curious scientist. Why does entertainment feel like an undercover mission to enter the mind? Why does programming echo the cunning schemes hatched in my favorite TV programs? It was a mystery I loved to unravel, a game I loved to play. My love for words was like a child's fascination for a magic trick, always eager to know what's behind the curtain. Little did I know I was already dabbling with the enchanting power of words. As I grew older, the magic seemed to fade, replaced by the monotonous routine of adult life. My vocabulary became peppered with musts and have-tos, each one casting a spell of burden and obligation. Every morning as I tied my shoelaces, I'd groan, "I must go for a run." The words felt like chains holding me back, weighing me down. Then one day I decided to rewrite the script. I replaced "I have to" with "I want to." A simple change, yet it transformed my world. Tasks became less of a burden, more of a choice. I was no longer a puppet, being controlled by the strings of obligation. Instead, I was a wizard, casting spells with my words, shaping my own narrative. It might sound like a fairy tale, but the science is real. The words we use can influence our thoughts, and in turn, our actions. They're not just sounds we make, but powerful tools that shape our reality. So the next time you find yourself saying, "I have to," try casting the "I want to" spell. You might just discover the magic within your words, and remember, even the greatest wizards had to start somewhere. Little did I know, I was already dabbling with the enchanting power of words. Fast forward to adult life, the magic had disappeared, and in its place, obligations cast a gloomy shadow. The enchantment of words seemed to have vanished, replaced by the stark reality of adulthood. The daily grind began to feel like a never-ending treadmill run with the same monotonous rhythm, the same relentless pace. Every day was a laundry list of have-tos and musts. I have to wake up early. I must finish this report. I have to exercise. These words started to sound like a bossy supervisor, always barking orders, never appreciating the effort. They were shackles, chaining me to a life of dreary routine. The magic of words that once filled my childhood with wonder was now replaced by the burden of obligation. The words had not changed, but their meaning had. Have to and must had transformed into ominous specters, haunting my every waking moment. The joy of living was being sucked out, replaced by a sense of duty, a feeling of being perpetually under the gun. The words we use to frame our reality can shape our experiences. They can be our liberators or our jailers, and in my case, they had become the latter. The have-tos and musts were my jailers, locking me in a cell of obligation, throwing away the key. I was living my life on autopilot, mechanically ticking off tasks from my to-do list. There was no joy, no sense of accomplishment, just a sigh of relief that one more task was done, one more obligation fulfilled. The light at the end of the tunnel seemed to be moving further and further away. The magic of words seemed to have lost its charm. The spells were not working anymore. Or maybe I had forgotten the right incantations. Perhaps I was using the wrong words to cast my spells. Could it be that I was not a wizard, but a muggle stuck in a wizard's world? All those have-tos and musts felt like an overbearing boss dictating my every move. They were the villains of my story, the darkness that had snuffed out the magic. But little did I know, the magic was not lost. It was just waiting to be rediscovered. One day, feeling like a rebel, I decided to kick that bossy voice out of my head and replace it with a more agreeable one. That's right, folks. I was done being a puppet, manipulated by the strings of obligation. I yearned for freedom, for a sense of control over my own narrative. You see, the words we use aren't just empty sounds, they're powerful conductors of intention, carrying the weight of our desires and aspirations. And when I changed my script, I felt a seismic shift in my personal universe. I replaced the stern, commanding "I have to" with a more inviting "I want to." Suddenly, the world didn't seem so daunting anymore. My tasks, once towering mountains of obligation, transformed into enticing hills, waiting for me to conquer. I was no longer an actor following a predestined script, but the author, holding the pen to my own story. Let me tell you, this wasn't just a fanciful experiment. This was a mental revolution. I was breaking free from the shackles of obligation, replacing them with the wings of desire. My motivation soared, my mindset morphed, and my life began to change. When I said, I want to go for a run, I found myself lacing up my shoes with a spring in my step, eager to feel the wind in my hair and the ground under my feet. When I said, I want to finish this project, the task became a thrilling challenge, not a ticking time bomb of stress. This subtle shift from have to want to was like discovering a secret potion, an elixir of empowerment. It made me realize that the words we use, the stories we tell ourselves, they shape our reality. So, the next time you're standing at the foot of a mountain of have to, remember that you have the power to reshape it into a want to. You're not just a character in your life story, you're the author. Just a minor tweak in the script, but boy did it change the plot. It may sound bananas, but science backs this up. The power of words isn't just a whimsical theory spun from the threads of a storyteller's imagination, it's a fact, grounded in the firm soil of scientific research. Let's delve into the world of cognitive neuroscience. Our brain, that squishy gray mass inside our skull, is a complex network of billions of neurons. These tiny cells communicate through electrical signals, forming a symphony of thoughts and emotions. When we change our words, we're essentially tweaking the lyrics of that symphony. Every word we use can light up different areas of our brain, creating a unique neural pattern. For example, when we say, I have to, our brain perceives it as an external obligation, triggering stress responses. On the other hand, I want to is processed as an intrinsic motivation, activating reward pathways. This subtle shift in language can significantly alter our emotional state and influence our actions. Now let's take a trip down the lane of psycholinguistics, a field that explores the psychological and neurobiological factors that enable humans to acquire, use, and understand language. It tells us that the language we use doesn't just reflect our thoughts, but it shapes them. The words we choose can frame our perspective, color our experiences, and even sculpt our realities. It's akin to programming our brain. Just like a software update can improve a computer's performance, changing our words can upgrade our mental software, boosting our mood, enhancing our productivity, and amplifying our potential. So, in a way, we're all wizards, capable of casting spells with our words. Our vocabulary is our wand, our thoughts are the magic, and our brain is the cauldron where it all brews. Our thoughts can juggle around our physiology, much like a circus clown juggling balls, and words are simply the public announcement of these private thoughts. It's science, not sorcery. But isn't science just another form of magic? So, the next time you find yourself wrestling with an I have to, try the I want to spell and watch the magic happen. Yes, that's right. Transforming your have tos into want tos is akin to casting a spell, a linguistic sorcery of sorts. It's a subtle shift, but the effects can be as dramatic as pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Imagine you're standing at the foot of a mountain. I have to climb this mountain, you tell yourself, and immediately the task seems daunting, a chore you'd rather not do. But if you switch that to, I want to climb this mountain, suddenly you're not just climbing anymore. You're embarking on an adventure, pursuing a goal, chasing a dream. The mountain doesn't seem so terrifying anymore, does it? This isn't just about playing word games, it's about tapping into your intrinsic motivation, the kind that springs from within and propels you towards your goal. It's about owning your actions, your choices, your life. The power of want to lies in its ability to turn obligations into opportunities. So let's say you dread cleaning your room. Instead of grumbling, I have to clean my room, try saying, I want to clean my room. Suddenly it's not a chore anymore. It's an opportunity to create a peaceful, organized space where you can relax and rejuvenate. The beauty of this magic spell is that it's not one size fits all. You can customize it to suit your needs. Maybe for you, it's not I want to, but I choose to, or I get to. Experiment, play around with it, see what works for you. Just remember, every time you utter an I want to, you're casting a spell, shaping your reality with the power of your words. And who knows, with a little practice, you might just become a master word wizard. And remember, even Dumbledore started as a muggle.